Welcome to another episode of Life Outside the Box. I'm your host, Extra the Director, and today I'm here with a very special guest, my man Corey. Corey, what's going on, brother?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm pretty good. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So, let's get right into the nitty gritty. So before we started filming, we were talking a little bit behind the scenes, and your knowledge of sneakers is something that I want everybody to see. Give us a little bit of your background when it comes to sneakers, maybe places you've worked or who you work for now. Anything that has to do with sneakers. I want a nice general idea of what's going on in your life.
So I pretty much started working in the industry when I was 15.
Okay.
I had working papers at a high school and just went after a foot action job.
Right.
Right from there, I worked there until I was about 20. I bounced around a little bit between Foot Locker, Foot Action, got a lot of experience there. I had experience with Finish Line, JD.
Yeah, me too.
Currently, I took about 8.5 years off from like the industry completely.
Okay.
Had some personal stuff going on in my life, but also it was more so like I wanted to dive into a new industry and see what I could do.
Right.
And from there, I kind of figured out that wasn't my passion, and sneakers is absolutely my passion. So I actually currently work for Nike.
Okay.
In the retail sector, but hopefully in the future, I'm looking to go into corporate, do something really special in marketing,
Right.
Storytelling.
Okay, very dope. So now let's take it back to where your sneaker journey first began. Besides work, what was the first sneaker that you purchased with your own money?
First sneaker I purchased with my own money was Fire Red 5s.
Ooh.
2001, 2000. So yeah, I rode my bike to the mall that's like 5 minutes from my house.
Okay.
Money that I saved up from mowing lawns and bought them for the first time. It was a really good feeling. It was actually at Athlete's Foot.
Oh wow, yeah. See, a lot of people don't know Athlete's Foot had the sneak drops.
They did.
Back
They
then.
also did pre-orders back then too, and I just didn't have enough money at the time to pre-order them, but I was able to go in and grab a pair.
Yeah.
Really dope.
That's really dope. See, like my first sneaker experience that I bought with my own money, it came from me actually working for Finish Line. I started working at Finish Line in Green Acres Mall. 6 months within working there, I made it up to assistant manager that quick. And then I ended up assistant manager at Roosevelt Field Mall, and then I did a little bit of time in Massapequa Mall as well with Finish Line. So once that discount came into play, and that's back when you can actually use your discount for Jordans.
Anything.
Yeah, because now they have the rule that you can't use your discount with releases, but back then you could. So that's where my addiction came in. Sevens was coming out back then. I remember the Citrus came out, white, gray, and purples came out.
I was at Action at the time.
Yeah, so that's really what started off my sneaker addiction. So that's pretty cool. Now, give me kind of an idea of what you look for when buying a sneaker. What's your goal? Do you do colors? Do you do sneakers and the style, whether Jordan or Nike? Do you have a specific brand that you focus on more? Or are you just one of those sneakerheads that you see it, you like it, you buy it?
So growing up, I had older siblings.
Okay.
Older brother, older cousins that are like brothers to me, and they were the influence.
Right.
They were hip hop. They embodied it to me. So
dope.
I was born into it. They
Okay.
always they were always rocking Jordan stuff and Nike stuff. And
Right,
that was kind of
right.
like what I saw. So for me, it was always Nike. There was never any other brand. I never really had like aspirations to I'm gonna go and get these, crazy eights or.
Right.
I'm a ball player. From the beginning of time, I played basketball. So
Yeah.
basketball and sneakers, that connection, but also hip hop and that culture to me was everything. So Nike was really my thing. But when I go to look for shoes back then, it was what was done in them. Right?
Okay.
My favorite player was wearing them. That's what I wanted to wear. My favorite a moment in time, like watching Jordan when I was really young.
Right.
Seeing like the last shots mean a lot to me because
Yes.
I was sitting at the edge of my bed wearing my Jordan jersey, kicking it and watching that game. I was supposed to be asleep, like going to school the next day.
Yeah.
I was watching that game.
Yeah.
And I had a pair. So that was for me, that was everything. But now, as I get older, I'm starting to realize it's more about comfort, shape, materials.
Absolutely.
And honestly, the story does tell a lot for me, but as much as, everybody's kind of diving into the story lately, I'm starting to see that that's overly saturated. People are starting to care too much about the story. Oh, I want them because of the story. When we were doing that in the 2000s.
Yeah,
we were doing that,
very much so.
2005, 2006.
Very much so.
And that story was so important to us, but now it's kind of getting watered down because there's just so much storytelling being told.
Yeah, I can see
I'm
that.
looking for the shape, I'm looking for different materials, and I'm also really focused on like what colors I don't have in my collection. You know, like what can I experiment with?
That's a very interesting take right there. That you said that because, like you were saying earlier before we started filming, you know, you have something in the works. You know, I don't know if I can disclose it here on the show. So you have your capsules that you're gonna release soon. You know, with the shorts and with the shirts and things like that. So it brings me to the question of, are you going to be picking materials for your line based off the materials and colors of the sneakers that are popular? Because the reason why I asked that, I had my man Darnell on the show before, and he's the owner and creator of Nick Every Clothing. And what he used to do in order to sell his clothes, he used to always find out what were the hottest sneakers coming out, and he would match the shirt to cater to those specific shoes. So it's not like, you know, and skip that real quick. You know what I hate? I hate when you buy a Jordan 3 and they sell a t-shirt with a Jordan 3 on the shirt instead of selling a dope t-shirt with the colors of the sneaker, you know, just to bring it back full circle. So is that what you're going to be doing, is picking the materials and colorways based off the sneaker, or you just have a shitload of ideas in your head that you need to get out?
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I got too many ideas all the time. I need to slow down or do something to relax. But for the first capsule, it's really my story of my origin, where I come from, my family, and the people that are within my family. So I'll share this part because I think it's pretty cool, and also, why not?
Yeah.
My ancestors throughout history were tailors.
Oh wow.
So, and that's on my mother's side. On my father's side, they owned retail clothing stores in Greenpoint, Brooklyn.
Wow.
One of the first.
Nice.
You know, like,
yes.
And I actually have a really cool picture of that store. So that's a big hint, but that's coming soon. But like, I'm telling my original story.
Right.
And part of my original story is telling something that I love and care about, and what got me into sneakers, which potentially lead into this too. But my first, like the shorts are going to be directly for one of my favorite, not only colorways, but my favorite shoes.
Okay.
So it's going to kind of go with it, but for me, not necessarily for what's coming. And I don't really want to cater to what's coming out. I don't think I want people to have the freedom to wear what they want to wear. And, you know, listen, it's
that's
going
important.
to be a specific color, but you can rock these with anything.
Yeah.
The point of my shorts, I really hope to have that ability that people dress them up or down. So I'm hoping to see what kind of photos and content comes from it, from the consumer. But for me, I'm really excited to roll it out because it's going to be directly for me, but it's my genesis. You know?
Yeah, I love that. Like I said, I'm going to support, man. As soon as you drop, you just let me know, and I got you. So let's get into the sneakers that you brought today, man. I know the box off the rip, and a lot of sneakerheads, you know, we have a thing about shoe boxes. And real quick, before you even open this, I want to know, do you generally keep your sneakers in their original box, or do you have some that you keep in the clear boxes that you can display? And, okay, so you're shaking your head no.
So I keep all my sneaker boxes.
Okay.
Now normally, this years and years ago, I used to throw silica packets in, hefty bags. Like I was really adamant about it.
To stop them from oxidizing.
Yeah, but now it's a lot. But I still do it for some pairs that I know I'm not gonna wear for a long period of time.
Okay.
But I do keep every original box.
That's dope.
And I also try to source boxes, I've gotten boxes from eBay and stuff to replace.
Really?
Yeah, just because if something breaks or something, because these boxes are flimsy.
They're flimsy, yes.
So I want to make sure that I always have boxes. I don't believe in drop down, the drop fronts, the clear boxes, just because too much light gets in, there's oxidation, and it's just not my thing. But they look great.
Yeah.
But I think my collection, the way I have it sitting, I like the way it looks. It makes me happy every time I step foot in my sneaker room. So.
Oh man, that's so dope. I like that. All right, let's get
a lot of time in there, man.
Yeah. All right, let's get into this. All right, so obviously everybody knows what these are. And if you've been living under a rock or something, you should know what this sneaker is. So I'm not even gonna get into it and explain that. So tell me, why these? Why the Concords?
Love at first sight. It was love at first sight. So when I was 6, these came out.
Okay.
And I was not getting a pair. There was no way.
Right.
So I did see them. I remember my cousin had a pair. He had the Reds. I remember he had Columbias at the time. And I was just like, man, I need a pair of those. Like, I want a pair of those. Now back then, when I was younger,
right,
like in that age range, like 6, 7, 8, 9 years old. I'm dating myself. I'm 31 now, so it doesn't really matter. But I've been collecting for that long. So this was like that. I saw this. I was wearing Pippins. You know, I was wearing up tempos and all that kind of stuff.
Which are not bad, by the way, but
awesome sneakers. But when I saw these, it was like, all right, I have to have those. So for this pair, my 10th birthday, I got a pair for myself. But not me. But
I know what you mean.
I got a pair from my cousin who was one of those people who really got me into the game. So I remember he walked in my front door, had a bag. I opened the box and I flipped out. So
eyes lit up like a Christmas tree.
Yeah, this was my real, the segue to me. All right, this is what I want to be.
I'm here. This is the I'm here moment.
Yeah, this is it.
Okay, and which release is this?
This is the 2018 release.
2018 release. And for those that tell the people, for those that don't know what's different about this sneaker versus other sneakers, because what I like to do on the show is explain to people why we are who we are, why we keep buying the same sneakers over and over and over, no matter how many times they came out.
Absolutely. So this is actually somewhat of a sample pair because of the 45 on the back. As it rotates, you can kind of see that again.
Yeah, you can grab it and show the camera.
Yeah, so like the 45 on the back was actually a sample for him when he came back.
Right.
He was wearing 45. This pair also has the high patent, so it's closer to original. Still not quite the same shape or feel because the originals, man, these were super plush, super comfortable. Technology in them was a little bit, I think, quality was a little better.
Yes, I agree with that.
But these are great. I love them. I have a couple pairs, so we'll just keep them on ice.
How many times have you bought this sneaker or owned this sneaker?
I had 3 pairs of the 2011s.
Okay.
Right, that was the year they came out, I believe, 2011.
Is that no, that's not the DMP year.
No, I got totally screwed on a DMP pack.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. I'll tell you about it if you want to know.
I think we all did it. It was actually Finish Line that screwed me.
Oh, it was Jimmy Jazz that screwed me across from Finish Line.
Yeah, I feel like it was probably the same exact story. They let you go through and then you got a cancellation afterwards?
No. So what happened with the DMPs with me is that I was working at Finish Line in Green Acres Mall, and at the time Finish Line didn't have them. They weren't getting the package. Jimmy Jazz had them, and Green Acres Mall is directly across the hall from Finish Line. So I went there. I had to open the store that day. I went there to open up the store, but I went extra early because I knew they were going to open up Jimmy Jazz for the DMP release. I get there. Long story short, I get to the front of the line. He's yelling out the sides, we got this, we got that, we got that, we got that left. So, upset people, oh, they don't have no more 9s. They don't have no more 9.5s. So I'm a 10.5, which is one of the most common sneaker sizes on this planet. Some guy walks up, gives a dap to the security guard. He goes inside, leaves the store with a DMP pack. Yo, we don't got no more 10.5s. That was the last 10.5. And I was next in line. Crushed me. I had an attitude that whole day on the sales floor. I barely sold anything. Just being that.
Yeah, no, I went a little crazy that release and tried to get a pair, but I ended up getting through on Finish Line's website.
Wow.
Now, we know back then, Finish Line was taking product from their website. So from their stores, whatever didn't sell from the stores, they would sell to their website.
On the website, yeah.
But they were taking orders for them. In the event that they didn't sell. But
right.
Everybody knew this was one of the most hyped releases that we saw to date at that time.
Yeah, that defining moments package was something special.
So I didn't get it, but it is what it is.
Right.
But yeah, these I guess the 2011s. I have the 2000s at home. I have a pair of Columbia OGs. They're not wearable. I don't ever think I'll put them on my feet ever again.
Yeah, they'll explode.
They might, but there's a lot of Jordan 11s when it comes to this shoe, and especially in high, I am going after it.
Absolutely.
So I have multiple pairs of almost every colorway.
Dope.
Just in case.
Dope. Cool. So before we get out of here, Give me from the point when you started buying sneakers for yourself till now, what are your top 5 sneakers of all time in that age range from when you started buying till now? I know it's a hard question. You got to think long and hard. Pause. But
well, I would say these Blacksmith 3s,
okay,
Red 4s. He got Game 13s, and I have to go with Last Shots.
That wasn't hard at all. I thought you was gonna take forever with that one.
I can go like, I can.
Right.
We can do 25 if we want.
Oh, no, that's too much. Oh, that's pretty dope. Is there anything in your collection that you don't have that you want?
Honestly, right now, I did pick up a pair that I wanted today. I got 16s today. But no.
What color?
The cherry woods.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a steal. I had to buy them.
I love those. Those and the gingers are awesome.
Yeah, no, the gingers.
Oh my god.
Too. I look for old kicks right now.
Yeah.
But at this point, I'm very content with my collection. Like, a lot of people might sit here and say like they're not.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I have enough sneakers to wear for a year. So, I mean.
How much do you think is in your collection at this point?
Oh, I don't know. I've never counted.
Never?
I've never counted my collection once.
Wow. Give an estimate, rough number.
Probably over 350.
Oh, okay, that's a good number. Mine is sitting at a calm 70, 75 right now, only because I tend to give a lot of my sneakers away when I don't wear them.
That's cool.
Because and especially if I know I'm not gonna put them on my feet, I'll give them to homeless people, I'll give them to my friends. It doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't sell them.
I've
I'm not in the business of reselling.
Stuff,
yeah.
But that's mostly like stuff that I ended up getting for real cheap.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
dope.
Obviously, I don't sell sneakers, so
yeah, me either.
Yeah, it's so my collection is important to me just as much as making sure that I wear them.
Absolutely, absolutely. So dope. Listen, I'm so glad to have you on the show. This was a very dope experience. Brought the Concords through, and it's amazing, man. Thank you for being a part of the show, my brother. Appreciate you. Before we get out of here, I want to give a big shout out to 2916, the clothing line I have on. You see Max Bigavell on the shirt. Make sure y'all go visit 2916 and cop that. My name is Extra the Director, and this has been Life Outside the Box.